Okay, hi. In this case, we're going to use the Thompson Retractor. Okay, so one of the things that I always look at when I'm going to use this retractor is making sure that the side rail on the table is already clear. So you want to make sure the sheet's tucked in. I look to see where the controls are or any cables that might be looped over the side of the bar, and then find out or get an idea of where on the table is the spot to put the support bars. So there are two that attach to the table, and these are what they look like. They have a groove here that fits around the bar and it tightens from the top. So the first thing that we want to do is make sure that it's actually open enough that we're going to be able to get it on the bar. And then once it's on, lift up and then push toward the bed a little bit, and then that way it'll hold it in place, and you tighten it from the top.
And make sure that the two are even on the bed at the same level, and I typically like to put it at about mid-chest on the patient.
Has these handles so you can tighten it up pretty tight. Just check it to make sure that it's secure. And then there's two different ratchets here that for putting the sidebars on. We're going to put the top one on first. Now in this case, Leanne's already loaded these retractor blades in the middle, which is very helpful. And this has a hinge on it so that you can load it on. So the bar goes in, and you can adjust it down like that if you need. It really depends on the field you need to expose. You can put it up like this. If you're going to be using a subcostal or a Mercedes type incision, having this sort of angle is useful. You can have it go straight across if that's what works for your case.
Make sure that these pieces are on the same side of the post, and that they're either both aimed down as this one is, or both aimed up.
Then these ratchets were placed already by Leanne ahead of time on the back table. So because as you can see, once it's on here, you can't actually slide anything on here. If you need to put something additional on, there are clip-on ratchets here, and these are the same basic connector, but they have a different just clip-on thing here. So make sure that that's unlocked. Unlocked is toward the operating end, and then you just tighten it up that way and it'll sit right there. Next we'll put the sidebars on. And these are angled here, so you can then put a retractor from the side or from the lower part of the field if needed. Again, try to be consistent so both sides are the same, both going down, both going up. And then you can position this and then just tighten it. There you go. And one thing I like to do, just so that there's less to get caught on, is try to tighten it in a way that it lines up with one of the other bars that's already on there. And that way you're not going to be having another part of this retractor just sticking out. And these slide on in the same way, and then you can set them to wherever you want. If you want it from the side or you want it from the bottom, it'll retract in, and then the blades get attached through this post right here. Sure, we can. Now in this case, this is a malleable retractor, which is small, so it's a not so deep field. That just clicks in by pushing this button here, and you can bend this. There are a variety of blades, which we'll show you in a little bit.
These are the fingers, which are really good for holding and testing. You can bend them like that, squeeze them together for smaller children, or bend them apart, and they connect in the same way. Then you can adjust it.
Now if you already have a slide-on bracket already in place, and you need to add and the retractor already holding, you need to add another one. That's where these clip-ons are great. So you can get your post. See that I'm right-handed and just using this retractor here. That can go on the side, and different blades. For the side, we might want to use a more rigid one, say for instance, to retract the body wall. If we have a deeper patient, you can use this Richardson retractor. Richardson type retractor, and it will retract, and it's strong enough and rigid to hold the body wall back.
For bigger kids, there's actually a special type of ratcheted piece that works nicely. Again, it's a clip-on. And then there's certain types of retractors, particularly for something like a Mercedes incision, that are shaped like that. You can clip in, and then for a larger child, then instead of trying to really pull back on this post, you can just turn this ratchet, and it'll open up the upper abdomen quite nicely.
One nice thing about, particularly like if we're doing a liver transplant, this is a very strong and useful retractor for the ribs, the costal margin. But if we need to retract the liver or other soft tissue in the same area, you can even put this, oops, let's have a clip on. You can put another retractor that's right next to it and use another malleable over the top to retract the soft tissue just away from it. So this is heavier weight, and this is more delicate, gentle for organ retraction.